Hello, welcome to our 13th Virtual Leadership Seminar under Youth Impact Movement. Let's start with a word of prayer. Almighty God, we thank you for this program. Grant that it may perform its high duty, as in thy sight. Give divine guidance, clarity, insight, and eloquence to our guest speaker and host, that they may deliver and make this virtual leadership seminar a memorable one and resourceful to our personal development and capacity building. We commit into your hands all participants that they may understand and adopt all that will be taught today. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, as your host, I want to welcome you all for our program. It is an honor for me to host this memorable event as the Executive Director of Youth Impact Movement. This youth organization is focused on impacting its members positively and significantly. This occasion assiduously promotes the vision of the movement. The theme for today's leadership seminar and 13th edition is Character and Integrity, Critical Qualities and Leadership Training of the Youth for National Development. And this topic will be handled by our guest speaker, Mr. Simon Avorgah, who is also the president of HTU Alumni Association. He is also our father as one of our patrons. I hereby wish, and on behalf of leadership, welcome you all for our seminar. May I proceed to introduce our guests. Mr. Simon Avorgah is a lecturer at the Department of Marketing and Hull Technical University. He is also the president of Hull Technical University Alumni Association and once acted as the head of the marketing department of the university. He holds an HND in marketing from Hull Polytechnic, Bachelor of Marketing from GIMPA, and holds a Master's in Business Administration (MBA) and Master's of Philosophy in Business Consulting and Enterprise Risk Management from Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Mr. Simon Avorgah is as well a PhD candidate, and as I said, he's a patron of this movement. Honorable members, it is now my singular honor to introduce to you Mr. Simon Avorgah. Mr. Simon Avorgah, the audience, you may now take the floor and speak to us.
Well, good afternoon to you up-and-coming leaders. I want to take the opportunity to express my sincerest gratitude to all of you for giving me another opportunity to interact with you and to share my thoughts with you on the topic you've given me. And I believe that at the end of this session, most of us will understand what is required in leadership position, which will propel you and position you to the world as one of the best leaders. As young people up and coming, the temptation to think that you are doing what is right as a leader could go into your head, and then you'll be messing up at it all. Africa is going through a problem, and the basic problem of Africa is the problem of leadership. The YIP decided to take the topic Character and Integrity, Developing Critical Qualities for Good Leadership. And I have been asked to deal with this topic, and it's my prayer that I will do it under the grace of God and share my thoughts for us to deduce something good from it and apply it accordingly. So thank you for inviting me. And I want to go ahead to do the discussion. As I've said, there is a serious need for leadership in Africa. Many people are talking about the challenges we are facing in Africa and in Ghana because they cannot feel the leadership they are expecting to feel. What it means is that leadership tells them one thing and then delivers below the expectations they have created in the citizenry. And therefore, with these young people coming up and trying to address themselves to leadership roles, it is important for us to look at integrity as a very important area in leadership. The first thing I will wish for us to look at is the definition of integrity. The definition of integrity from dictionary and from other sources come in this form. We say it is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principle. Being honest and having strong moral principles. We can look at this general definition from other sub identities. When we talk about being honest and having strong moral principles, we are touching on uprightness. We are saying that a leader must show a character of uprightness, probity, rectitude, honor, good character, and principles. These are required of a leader. Secondly, if a leader must be ethical or must show integrity, then he must address himself to ethics. He must address himself to righteousness, nobility, high-mindedness, and right-mindedness. High-mindedness and right-mindedness. Many leaders who aspire to be high-minded, but the way they get to that high level may not be the right approach. And so when they get to the top there and they are high-minded, every other thing they do becomes rotten and bad. When we say a leader must have integrity, then we are saying that the leader must show characters of virtue, decency, fairness, scrupulousness, sincerity, and truthfulness. And to top it all, trustworthy. A leader must show to his followers that he is one person that he can be trusted. He must show to his colleague leaders that whatever they come into agreement with and whatever they do and decide on, they can trust the leader that he will do them and do them right. Let's look at some examples of leaders who have integrity and honesty. And what easily comes to mind is the late President Magufuli of Tanzania. When he assumed the presidency, we all attest to the fact that he took certain decisions even to the point of he becoming like a very common person among his citizenry. He was one leader who was showing integrity in all aspects. He ensured that all the people he was leading, especially the ministers and the directors and all of those leaders, do show a life of simplicity, a life of righteousness, a life of virtue, to their people. So he's one president that we didn't see much of him. He was short-lived, and so we didn't see much of him. We can also talk of a president of our own, Professor Evans Atta Mills, late, who also showed that kind of integrity. And today people are mentioning him. If he had had the opportunity, Atta Mills would have changed the fortunes of Ghana today. So these are clear examples of people that we can ascribe integrity to, whether it is true or not. What we see in the physical, what we see of them is more to show that they are people of integrity. I am a person of the Bible, and so I cannot discuss integrity without mentioning characters in the Bible that were also seen to be people of integrity. David, King David. Somebody will say, hey, what is about King David? King David killed his commander of the army and took the wife and all of that. But you see, when King David did that and the prophet revealed to him that he was the one, the Bible said that he regretted what he has done and openly accepted the mistake he has committed. He changed his clothes, wore sackcloth, and lay on the bed floor for so many days, fasted, just seeking for forgiveness so that he can live a better life at that. We can also talk about Job. And God testified about Job. God said that he told the devil, have you seen my servant Job? That is a man of high integrity. Can God testify of us, the young people, of our integrity? Can even the people around us testify about us, of our integrity? There are people that sometimes that we live among people. When we are there, they will say all the good things about you, but you will really know your status, your level of integrity among your people when you are not there. What do they say about you when you are not in their presence? Jesus Christ himself called his disciples one day and said that, who do people say I am? And then they say, they said you are Elijah, you are Elisha, you are the prophet, you are like Moses. Then he turned to the people and said, who do you say I am? So people should experience that leadership, that honorable leadership, that good character of a leader, that integrity in the leader, and talk about it, not say things in a different way, and then we doubt your credibility. We can mention Joshua in the Bible. We can mention Daniel, Meshach, and Abednego, who refused to participate in the thing that will defile them. Most of our leaders today who wholeheartedly embrace dishonesty, wholeheartedly embrace immorality, and it has become like a norm. Let's just do it and then go. For us, the young people, we don't need to be like that. We don't need to copy those who are ahead of us. We must be agents of change. And if we want to be agents of change, then it must start with us. What would you do in your life that will affect yourself and affect the people immediately around you, that they can tell your good story when you are not around? Now, why is there the need for integrity or leaders of integrity? Do we need that? And I say that naturally and originally we are all creatures of integrity. The very day you were born, we say that you are an innocent baby. You know nothing about the things that happen in this world. Your cry is an honest cry. Your desire to suck your mother's breast is an honest one. It is the integrity. It has a very high level of integrity. So whether you are a Christian, you are a Muslim, you are an atheist or whatever, your natural state, your first state on this earth is a state of integrity and honesty. Nobody can take that away from you. So by origin, that is what we are. So the human society is also guided by norms and virtues and values. Why would a human society, a community of people, agree that we should go by certain rules to guide us? Because they want to guide their lives by rules so that nobody becomes an offender and therefore affects others negatively. So in our society, by nature, we have set up systems and rules to make us honest, to make us people of integrity. And that is it. So when we talk about the laws, when we talk about the rules, when we talk about the constitution and all of those things, they are creations of the human society that is supposed to make us become right people. That is all. So as leaders, we are evolving from a background of integrity and honesty. You cannot run away from it. Those who believe in God know that even God who created us is a God of integrity. So, who is responsible for integrity? Who should be? Yes, we are all naturally created in integrity. We came as honest people. We've now grown. Who should be responsible? Is it people who must make me become, show my integrity and show my honesty? Or it is myself? And I will go for the fact that you are responsible, solely responsible for your integrity. That is why your mother will beat you when you were a child and you told a lie. Your father will punish you. Your father cannot come and then control your lying or your stealing or you do it before they will recognize that you have done it. And because you are bringing an embarrassment, they want to correct you to do what? To do the right thing. So every human being from childhood, the women, from your baby state to where you are today of your age, you are responsible for your integrity and for the integrity of the group that you lead. The moment you say you are a leader, then you are also responsible to ensure that the group exudes integrity, that the group live by morals and guided by values and norms, and that when people go wrong, what the law says should be done to them is done to them. So we are all responsible for our integrity and our honesty as individuals. So when we take very good care, we ensure that we have high levels of integrity and good levels of values and honesty, and we come together. Everybody is honest. Everybody has a good integrity. Then that group is a very solid group that can take us to where we want to go. So you are responsible for that, your integrity. What are the effects of failed integrity? I want to tackle the failures first before we come to. So what are the effects when there is failed integrity? I want to discuss this because we are living in a society where integrity has failed. We are living in a society where leadership has failed. We are living in a society where even the systems themselves have been corrupted. So if they have been corrupted and leadership has failed and everything has failed, then what are the effects of those failures? One, because we have failed, we have distorted vision. What is our vision as a nation? What is our vision as a group? What is our vision as a society? Vision defines your foresight, defines where you want to be in the future and what you want to be and how you want to be seen. So if we don't have integrity, we don't have honesty, then we have distorted our vision. What it means is that we are saying that we are getting to a destination, but we have now defined more than one destination we are getting to. For instance, you want to become the president of Ghana, and you must go through all the requirements to become a president. Then you say that, as for me, I won't go by that way, but by any means, I can become a president. So you get to become a president by those means, and your foundation is weak because you didn't establish a very solid foundation. So you become a president which is not real president. You have just created a kingdom for yourself and you are leading. But if you pass through all that we have all agreed and you get to that point, then you are a very honest president. So we have lost our vision and we have lost the purpose for which we exist, or the purpose for which we join a group. We've lost that. So because there is failure, integrity, and honesty, vision and missions are distorted or lost altogether. 2, because we don't have integrity and honesty, norms and values have been thrown to the wind, have been thrown to the garbage down. There is nothing valuable in our lives again. There is nothing that is a norm that we need to obey. Anybody does anything. Corruption is now being praised like it is a normal thing. Okay? Immorality is being upheld higher than morality. So in our community, even in our classrooms and in our homes, when you tend to be the good one, you are being laughed at. When you are the right person, you become an enemy to everybody and they will start calling you names. We have lost norms and values because we have failed integrity and failed honesty. Thirdly, when we fail in our integrity and honesty, we tend to become leaders who exercise authoritarian rule. You are not right. You have done all the wrong things together. So the only thing you can do is to bring force to the people so that the people can obey you. You don't command respect from the people again. You order respect. You demand respect. So because we have failed integrity, because we have failed honesty, our leadership now becomes accept me as I am. If you don't accept me, I will deal with you. So people tend to become afraid of us, and then they obey us because they are afraid of us, not because they really appreciate our leadership. Then the fourth one is that when you have a failed integrity and honesty, because you cannot get to the leadership through the normal way, you create a kingdom around yourself, and that is what we call a rebel group. You develop a rebellion group. They rebel against the rules. They stand against the laws. They don't want to follow the set down requirements. And those people become riotous. They fight anybody that seems to be coming across their way. So they become rebels. So you see that we have a whole lot of rebel groups in Africa. Why? because some of the people who are leading them feel that they can become leaders by any means they determine. So it helps us to create, because we have failed integrity, it creates rebel groups. Then we can talk about disrespect for everybody. People who don't have honesty and integrity don't respect anybody. They disrespect authority. They disrespect power. They disrespect rules and regulation. People who don't have honesty and integrity disrespect. Then, last on that score is it destroys the ambitions of that individual and the group they intend leading or they are leading. The goals that we have set for ourselves is destroyed. We cannot get to that goals. So we find some means of telling lies to the people as if we are actually attaining those goals. But in reality, that is not it. You don't have to be a leader who will be telling lies. You must be a leader who must accept your failures and work at it. You must boldly and wholeheartedly come out, accept the failures, accept the loopholes, and work at restoring them into their proper place. How do we develop and sustain integrity? How do we develop and sustain integrity? As leaders, as young people who are aspiring to become recognized leaders, political leaders, company heads, and all of those things, there is the need for you to redefine yourself. There is the need for you to take a good look at yourself again and understand yourself. If you don't do so, people will understand you the way they want to understand you and tell you what you have to do instead of you doing what you must do. So you need to know yourself. When we say you know yourself, it means that you must understand your character and your characteristics. You must understand the person you are, the personality in you. You must come to the point of knowing what are your weaknesses and what are your strengths, and how you can work on your weaknesses and turn them into strength, and how you can harness your strength and become more profitable and productive. Secondly, you must activate your conscience. And that is a natural thing, a God-given thing. Conscience is in us. Like I said, we were created as what? Creatures of integrity and honesty. And so anytime we do something bad, we feel it. When a child of 2-3 years is doing something bad and then you tap the child a bit, that don't do that again, the child will cry. Next time he will not do it. Next time he will not do it at all. Okay? So it comes in that sense that if your conscience is no more telling you that what you are doing is wrong, what you are doing is right, then you need to reactivate your conscience so that your conscience will be an alarm to tell you anytime you are going out of your way and then you are doing the wrong thing. Thirdly, how do we develop and sustain integrity? You must be consistent. A leader must be consistent. You don't do something today and then tomorrow you do the opposite of what you have insisted that should be done. You don't preach morality and do immorality. You don't tell your people to be honest whilst you are dishonest. There must be consistency in your life. And that consistency must be premised on the principles, on the integrity, and on the honesty that you want to establish. That will make you a very good leader. Be consistent at all times. 4, avoid redefining what is good and what is bad. Good is good and bad is bad. Don't turn bad things and call them good. Stop making excuses for the errors you have made. Stop making or giving a new name to the bad things that you have engaged yourself in as a leader. Accept that things went wrong and bad, and then correct them and do the right things. If you cannot do them, give way to people who can do it and do it better. So don't redefine good and bad to suit you. Then the last point under how to develop and sustain integrity is uphold your integrity. Build an integrity. Let that integrity be up there. Let it flag up. Let people see that integrity. So that when people touch that integrity, you feel that your life has been snapped out of your hand. And that is why people will fight to restore their integrity. That is why people will do everything to protect their integrity when their integrity is being played with by enemies or people that want to damage their integrity. So build a very solid integrity. Have a very good name. Have a very good story. Let people know your story and tell your story as it is. So what is the positive effect of a leader of integrity and a leader of honesty? Your integrity develops your attitude and shapes your character. If you have integrity, if you are honest, you will develop your attitude. And that attitude will be with you, and that is what people will relate with. They will relate with your attitude. And when you have a very good attitude, then your character is shaped. Then people will now describe you by that character because you have good attitude. 2, the positive effect of integrity and honesty is you become an effective leader. And I define an effective leader as a leader who gets results. A leader who applies the rules, who applies the principles and attains the result. Effectiveness is doing the right things. 3, when you have good high integrity and honesty, you respect others and appreciate their abilities. Some leaders, because they lack integrity, honesty, and good character, will not respect others and will not even appreciate the abilities of others. Okay? You're one of the sub-leaders under you have more experience and competency in doing certain things. Maybe he has the competency to communicate and communicate very well. You are the president. Your communication is not that good. Why wouldn't you appreciate that lower leader to do the communication on your behalf? Moses was not good in communication. He was not a man of words. Aaron was good. So God said that carry Aaron along with you and let Aaron speak. And they did a very good communication. So a good leader with integrity and honesty appreciates the abilities of all the other people under him. And then promotes even those abilities. Because at the end of it, it will inure to the benefit of the group at large and to the good name of the leader. Then the third point under that is, the fourth point under that is, you build a trustworthy people around you. If you're a good leader, if you're a leader of honesty and integrity, you are a leader that shows good character, the people around you will be affected by your character. Anybody around you that is not exhibiting that good character is brought out and expelled from that group, that leadership group, because he cannot cope and then fit into it. So he must give way. So when you are a leader of honesty and integrity, the people around you must be affected. And they must also show the same thing. And when all of you show that thing, that integrity and honesty, it pushes you up the ladder. Then the fifth point is that you share your weaknesses and build on your strengths. That's the positive side. A man of integrity, a leader of integrity, does not fear when there is a failure, does not fear when there is a weakness, does not fear to say it before his subordinates that, oh, I didn't do this thing right. I think I didn't get it right. Can somebody help me to know it and then apply it appropriately? That is a leader. That is a leader of humility. And humility is a good character. But when you are a person you have no integrity, you have no honesty, you will never accept your weakness. You will never accept your failure. You will always look for somebody to blame. You will always find fault with what you did and made a mistake. You find fault with another person. It is the finance, the one in charge of finance. It is the one in charge of this thing. It is the organizer who did not do it well. It is this person who did not do it well. No. A leader of integrity, when somebody even fails at the grassroots, the leader takes responsibility for it and then goes to help the person to correct it. So it is important that if we want to become the leaders that we need to become, then we must desire to become leaders of integrity and honesty. Now, I want to link this with how we must develop our nation. Ghana is reeling under bad leadership. I don't care what people will say about that, but this is my candid opinion. From Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's time up to today, there have been levels of dishonesty, levels of questions of integrity on all our leaders at every level, and we must accept it and work at it. Our problem is leadership. Leaders don't have integrity. Leaders do not have conscience, and therefore will describe people who are living right in another way. They will look at people who want to follow norms and values in another way, and they will even launch people to attack you and attack your integrity. That's the kind of leaders we are. So they don't have integrity, they don't have morals, and they know they don't want to accept anything. When you talk about moral, it will tell you that morality is how people see it. So if they are doing the wrong thing and they think that it is the right thing, they will continue doing it. However, the citizenry are suffering. In Ghana, leadership has not shown urgency for the need of integrity. We have not shown anything like that. If not so, why would in Parliament, when they are casting votes, a deputy speaker will just call the people to vote, and then after voting, he gets up to also vote. We don't have that morality. And continuously they are defending it. So leadership has no agency for the need of integrity. It disrespects the norms and the rules. And we are here today because we lack integrity. The whole nation lacks integrity. I've been around for some time. I saw at least the 1979 coup. I was a little boy when the Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown. I saw the 79 coup. I saw the June 4th. That is the 79 coup. And then the 31st December 19 or something. Those coup. And I've seen the kind of government that we have had. And why have we not moved from where we were at that time to become a country that is rated high? The financial institutions are downgrading us. The Auditor General is telling us that the amount of money we are losing to corruption is far higher than even our GDP. So, can we move on? We cannot move. We cannot take a step ahead. Those in power today, those in leadership today, those who are leading us at all levels are telling us that they are developing the youth as the future leaders. Developing the youth with what? With dishonesty, without integrity, because the youth are looking up to us and they cannot see anything good in us. They cannot see the value and the vision that we want to accomplish. They cannot see it in you because we are lying to each other and we are telling nothing but fables to our children. It is my prayer that the Youth Impact Parliament, as you've taken the bold step to develop yourself into the new generation of leaders, you will always guide yourself with everything that talks about integrity and honesty. If not so, you have started on the wrong footing. Go back and start all over again and tell yourself that you want to be a leader of integrity and a leader of honesty. The developed democracies that we are talking about, America and the rest, the system has made it that you cannot go beyond the oath you have sworn. You cannot do things when you are a leader. You cannot do things anyhow. The law itself will deal with you. Can we have that in Ghana? I pray that God will take us to that point. If not so, we'll be declining down, and we'll fall into an abyss. May God help you to become a leader, to become leaders that we can look up to. Leaders that we can smile and say that the future is bright. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, our guest speaker. I have some questions and I'll ask my questions. My first question is in two folds. The issue is that as a follower, it's a different routine and there are different ways of handling matters of character and integrity. And as a leader, there are different ways. You didn't speak on some of them, but my scenario is in the case that you are a follower and you want to protect your integrity, but your leader has no integrity and he literally does not care what happens. Should we followers always go out of side groupings anytime the leader has no integrity, or we should speak to our leader? And then the second one is, when you are a leader and your followers have parochial interests, they are always interested in money, money, money. But you know that is not the kind of people you cannot work with. Should it always be the time that you should sack them off the job, or you should speak to them and try to curb them on the road? How do we do in these two circumstances?
Okay. Thank you very much for the question. So we are looking at leadership from a perspective, from the question you've asked. In a situation where the leader is the one who evolved the group and has imposed himself on the people, and therefore will commandeer everything in a grouping, then that is where that leader will not accept certain things. But where a group evolves or emerges by the collective thoughts of the people, then the rules that are set by the people now becomes the values and the norms of that group. So if a follower upholds integrity and honesty and moral high grounds, and the leader is not doing so, that follower must activate the clauses in the rules and the norms to call that person to order. That is even at the end of it. But there are ways that you could also try to orient the leader by approaching the leader and discussing. When you were vying for this thing, this was the character you were showing. This was how you presented yourself. But all of a sudden, things are changing. These things do not go well for you as an individual and as a leader. It paints you black out there. When you attempt to correct and you attempt to bring him back in line, is failing. Like I said, if the group came out of the collective minds of the people, then you can now activate your rules and say that our leader is not doing the right thing, and therefore, what does the rule say? Does the rule say that we should remove him, suspend him, give him a particular punishment? If that is what the rule says, then you must activate it and let it work. When it works, it becomes a punishment for him, and therefore a disciplinary example to all other people who will get there. The next time I'm going there, I say that then let me behave well, because the rules will not allow for that. But where the person is the owner of the group, he determines what should be done and what should not be done. If you're a person of integrity, there are two things that you can choose to do. One, stay there and be the individual who is of integrity. If the leader is found wanting, you will not be found wanting. That's the first choice. The second choice is you exit from the group to keep your integrity. Because even though in our local adage they say that one spoiled palm nut spoils the rest, they didn't talk about one good palm nut. In other words, when there is one good palm nut, it is among spoiled ones, so it will also be spoiled. So you must get out if the need be. So that's the first question. The second question, you were talking about people desiring for money. There are different stages of development. Even plants. When you plant a mango tree, it will take you years before the mango will bear fruit. So people of that nature should wait, grow the group to the point where, if you think your ambition is for money, the whole group's ambition is money, then wait for that time for the money to come. But if you want to make money by becoming the leader, you have the potential of jeopardizing your rule and the others. The second thing is that you can have all the money, but when you are growing as a person, Because the moment you leave the group, all the people in the group will know that you are a corrupt person. And therefore, wherever they meet you, they will speak bad about you. And it will follow you. It will follow you. People will know about you. So, going for money is not the issue. Having the idea to develop so that in the development, money comes to you is the best. So develop yourself. Develop your groups. When it is time for money to come, it will come. The second thing I want to talk about here is that we must also look at what is the ambition and goals that we have set for ourselves. Is the goal of the organization to make money? Is the goal of leadership to make money? If that is it, then you are becoming like a profit organization. So then your activities and your processes must be profit oriented so that we can make our profit and get our money. But if that is not what your group has been defined for, then stay within your scope of operation. And if the money will come, it will come. For me, that is what I can say. Yes.
Thank you very much. And then my last question before we end this session. Our guest speaker, it appears the youth of today, due to the underlying circumstances and economic hardship, they have lost the focus and they don't know where exactly to go. It's like their world has crumpled on them. Some of them even tend to blame their witches and wizards, things that has happened few years ago. Some of them have done mistakes that still haunt them. As youth growing up, what should we do if we have done things that are regrettable, but we want the future to be bright for us? We want to make the best and be the star out of our people. What do we do if we have a bad past that haunts us? What do we do to sanctify ourselves, to keep hope alive, and become leaders of integrity as you so advise us to?
Okay. Yes, that's a very brilliant question. You see, first of all, we must all accept the fact that we are human beings and that we are infallible. If you fail or you make certain mistake in life, it is the action at that point in time that is a mistake. But you, the human being, you keep on living and growing and developing. What do? Pick up the pieces. Redefine your focus. Redefine yourself. In marketing, we say rebrand yourself. Look at the characteristics, the items of character, and work on those ones that led you into that bad life. And revive yourself. It sometimes is difficult for you to do that. Get a mentor. Share your issue with that mentor. The mentor is supposed to help you come out of that and rediscover yourself and redefine yourself. When you rediscover yourself and redefine yourself, then you position yourself properly. And be careful to avoid the temptation to fall back. Many a times that is how it happens. We work our way to a point and then we are tempted by the past again, and then we go that way. So there is the need for you, when you fall back, the Bible says that you will fall 7 times and you rise up. It didn't say you fall only the first time and rise up, but the 7th time you can rise up. It says you fall 7 times and you rise up. Rise up. The moment you realize that your past is not good, it means that you have the second part of you, which is yearning to become right. So groom it, make it blossom, and let it come up. Then it will subdue the old part. On this note, I will quote my former secondary school's motto, St. Paul Secondary School, then Sparko, the border university. It says, Vinci in bonum malum, which means do good to conquer evil. Always do good. Always try to do good. Define good as it is and follow it at all times. If your past has not been good, the future is good. So look at the future and pick the nuggets of goodness and move on in life.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any further questions, some of these questions we asked was because these are issues happening and affecting the youth losing focus. But if you have any further question, kindly type it and then we would relay it to the guest speaker, and he would also type his response in and reply you over there. So before I go on with my closing remarks, let's have closing remarks from our guest speaker, and then we'll close this section.
My brothers and sisters upcoming, you have taken a good course to develop yourself as leaders, and I appreciate that so well. And I know that this course is a good one. In the next 10, 12, 15 years, I'll be happy to be informed that one of you, two of you, 3, 4, 5, 10 of you have assumed leadership positions. Even if not at the country level, at various levels, I'll be happy and I'll hit my chest and say that, yeah, this is the person I can trust in. But you see, at the top there, at the leadership position, everything depends on you and what you want to do to affect people. Affecting people positively should be the ambition in your life. And to do that, you must be a leader of integrity, a leader that shows honesty, a leader that is high-mindedness and good-mindedness. Seek after these things. When you affect people positively, you continuously have the easy way to access all the blessings of life. People will bless you, and the whole system will also bless you. So I want you to aspire to become a leader who is different from the leaders that we have had. Be unique, be special, and let us all recognize that about you. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, our guest speaker. Honorable members, on behalf of leadership and myself, I wish to convey the sincerest gratitude of the movement to our guest speaker, Mr. Simon Avorgah, President of HTU Alumni Association, for coming to impact us with his massive experience and lecture us on today's topic. God bless him greatly for availing himself to impact us and participating in it. For the attention of members and our participants, I hereby indulge you all to follow Youth Impact Parliament on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Telegram, and YouTube. Youth Impact Parliament is a youth organization recently established that creates the opportunity to groom youth in leadership roles, public speaking, parliamentary business, social norms, and values. YIP is in its second parliamentary year. The movement has two branches, which is the foundation and parliament, and we are all hoping for support from the general public. Anyone wishes to support us can support us in kind or cash. You can as well contact me on +2332014766696 to support and donate to us. Now, members, at this juncture, I'd like to use this opportunity again to thank the Almighty God for making this program a success. And my second thanks goes to our guest speaker, Mr. Simon Avorgah, and to all our audience who would watch this session. I want to thank all who have directly and indirectly aided the organization of this seminar and will benefit from it for future endeavors. God bless you all abundantly. Let's take our closing prayers. Almighty God, give us wisdom and understanding to all who have participated in this seminar and that may need all these things to make their lives better. We commit into your hands the 13th guest speaker for facilitating our leadership seminar, and we commit unto your hands subsequent guest speakers. Amen. God bless you all, and I'm Jones Amegashie-Viglo, Executive Director of Youth Impact Movement, your host.